it's Cindy here with Stampin' Creations. I am just going to check and make sure that this is on. I was getting a strange message. Okay, perfect. It says that I am live. So if you're here, can you say hello so that I know that it's working? Okay, so it does say that I'm live. I just want to make sure that it is truly working. It was trying to tell me that I had an internet connection issue. So if you're here, say hello. Let me know that you're here. I see it says one person, and I don't know if that's myself or who. So I'm going to see if I can get to, oh, I'm in the wrong thing. That might be part of my problem. Okay, so let me just see if this is working. All right, it says there's people hopping on. So if you're hopping on, say hello. And yeah, it says there's people here. Okay, so it says there's 4 people. So, okay, it is working. All right, so hello everybody, welcome. Paula, yay. Okay, so I did not get a chance to record the video today, so that's why I decided to try to go live. Now, I'm not going to guarantee that this is going to work because of the way the internet is, but I'm going to try. My experience has actually been that sometimes it's choppy when it's live, but then after my live, I go back to watch the video and it seems to be fine. So I don't know if it's just the streaming part of it or what's going on. So hopefully that's just the issue and that it continues on okay. But as I go through the video, if we have any problems, can you either message me here, you can comment here, or if you can even just message me on Messenger, if you're friends with me on Facebook, that would be very, very helpful to me, okay? So if you're new to my channel, welcome. I hope you enjoy this. I do try to go live every Monday, or at least post a video every Monday. And I do focus a lot of my cards on how to use your scraps. So a lot of my customers love that. And so that's kind of what I focus my Mystery Mondays on. I know a lot of people focus on different layouts and that kind of things. And I do throw those in from time to time, but essentially what I focus in on is using our scraps and little bits of pieces of paper. Okay. So it has been an extremely busy day. I have some busy elves here helping me at the studio tonight. So they are out in the living room and I have not scared them too badly and they will come back to help me going forward. All right, so let's get started. It is 7:17, so I know I am running a few minutes behind. So let's get started and we can go from there. All right, so I told you that you needed to have a standard card base. So that is what this is right here. And I'm going to take my bone folder and I'm going to give it a nice good crease. I told you that you were going to need 2 pieces of either Whisper White or Very Vanilla. For this card, I'm using Very Vanilla, but the other cards I am using Whisper White. And then I told you that you needed 4 pieces at 3/4 of an inch by 5 1/4. Now, the 3/4 of an inch part is important. The rest of it probably lengthwise we could have maybe gone a little bit longer, a little bit shorter, but we're going to trim it down anyway. So it does not matter. Okay. So there's that. Okay. And I'm going to get my silicone mat out because I am working on a glass surface here. So my paper tends to move. So I don't like that. So I'm going to put those there. So I told you that your DSP needed to be kind of coordinating. And you'll understand when we go along with this why I mean that. But I usually will take one paper pack and then just kind of use the front and the back. Like, so one pattern and then just using the front and the back just to coordinate the colors a little bit more. But you can do whatever you want for this one. I'm going to leave it totally up to you. And then I told you that you needed an element for your sentiment. So that could be a circle, a square, or whatever you wanted. And I'm using this one from the Poppy set. The names just escape me, but it's the one that coordinates with the poppies. Love this one. I forgot I had it. I did tell you embellishments to decorate, some ribbon, which I will grab behind me as we get going, and adhesive and your paper trimmer. Okay, so that should really be everything that you should need for tonight. Okay, so what we're going to do is we are going to take one of your cardstock or your very vanilla pieces, and this is essentially, when we're done, going to layer on here, but we don't want to put it on just yet because we want to adhere our designer series paper. So this card layout is actually one that Tracy sent me, and as soon as I saw it, I was like, oh my gosh, I love that layout, and so I wanted to do it for our Mystery Monday. So what we're going to do, this card is so simple, you're going to love it. So essentially we are going to run our papers on a diagonal. So I'm starting from the corner here at the top of my paper, and I'm just going to kind of run it down like this. And then I'm going to decide on my next pattern, and I do want to leave a little bit of a space there. And you'll notice that this is overlapping on my paper. It's going over my paper, and that's okay, because like I said, we're going to trim this down. So we're going to put this one here. I'm going to put this one about there. And so how much of a space? I'm going to leave that up to you. How much of a space you want to put there. You can put a significant space, but I think just a smidge, I know that's a very technical term, of a space is kind of nice. So I can use that side. I do like that one though. My helpers are out there having a fun old time. So this is the first time I've had Mr. Pigott here helping me at the studio. And he's with my daughter, and she's giving him some guidance. So that's fun. Okay, so I'm going to actually move this one up just a smidge. I'm going to put this one here. And I'm going to show you one that I started. I didn't finish it today because I was obviously in such an incredibly busy, crazy hurry. It does not look pretty right now. Okay, I know it doesn't look pretty, and that's okay that it doesn't look pretty right now, because it will look pretty once we're done. So I kind of have that where I want it. So I'm going to run my glue, possibly if it decides to come out. So I like to be very frugal with my glue, and then I get mad when it doesn't come out. So I'm going to run this one about here, like such. I should probably put my paper a little bit straighter. About there, okay? And then I'm going to adhere my next one. So I'm just rotating my patterns back and forth is really what I'm doing here. Now, you could cut your paper, your designer series paper. You could cut this thinner. So you could actually do like 1/2 inch if you wanted. I started with 1 inch. I was like, oh, that's too thick. So you could do 1/2 inch and make your paper thinner. And then you could actually put more strips in here if you wanted. Okay. So I'm just keeping mine at this width just because I think it's a good width, and I didn't want too many patterns going on. So we'll see how. So I'm starting with the card that I think I'm going to like the least, which is funny because I love this paper. It's just this pattern I'm just not 100% sure I love, right? I'm just not sure how this card's going to turn out. I love the paper. I love the suite. I love it all. So let me see. I keep cutting in and out. Okay, so Paula, I think what happens is after the video comes, it doesn't cut in and out anymore. So you may have to watch this on a replay, which is incredibly frustrating. Okay, so I just want to make sure it doesn't kick me out will be the bigger issue now. So once I have my papers on a diagonal like this, you can take your paper snips and trim this down, but I'm going to actually use my paper cutter. So I'm going to pull this in, and I'm going to line this up, and I'm just going to take my, oops, I should have maybe gone over a little bit more. There we go, like that. And now I can line this up and trim that down. And I'm lining this up at my 4-inch mark, right? Because I know that's the size of my paper. And then this one I know will be 5 1/4. Okay, so this is what you end up with once you trim away all those bits. Ah, my fingers, I got glue all over them. Okay, oops, sorry, hit the camera. Okay, so this is what I have so far. So this is going to be on here, like such. Okay, still doesn't look amazing, right? Still just doesn't look very like, oh my gosh, this is beautiful. Like, what is she talking about? So I'm going to go ahead, I'm going to adhere this down. Now, something you can do at this point, if you wanted, and I'm not going to because mine is out in the other room, is you could actually run this through your die cutter machine at this point, your die cutting and embossing machine, and you could actually emboss this piece right here that I've just adhered down. I'm not going to because, again, my machine is out in the living room, our kitchen, and it is not, it's being used actually by my husband to do some embossing. So I'm not going to use that right now. So ribbon I have, which I might actually bring in this ribbon. I might bring this in. And what I might actually do is just put this behind like that. So I'm going to bring in my paper snip, or my ribbon snips here. Now these are not my ribbon snips, they're snips that I purchased from somebody else. So they don't actually cut as awesome as I would like them to, but nonetheless. Okay, so I am going to actually trim that. See, they don't cut amazing. So somebody's obviously used these for other than ribbon. So my ribbon snips, I have only used for ribbon snips. Those have been used for other things. Okay, so I'm going to put this here like that. Actually, I think I'll crisscross it like this. And then I'm going to actually adhere that down with my sentiment. And I could actually pop that up. Okay, can you actually see what I'm doing? Okay, so I am going to just maybe put some glue here. Come on, maybe, if it will allow me to. So I'm going to put that about there. I'm just going to give that a minute to sit. Okay, I love this ribbon, this twill ribbon, it's beautiful. It may not actually adhere. I may have to use my tear and tape on this. Actually, I'm going to put that on there for a minute. And while that's doing that, I am going to bring in my stamp. And I'm going to do wishes for a beautiful birthday. So I recently had to do up some cards for somebody, and it dawned on me that I really don't have a lot of birthday cards. So I am going to do this one in soft suede. So this is the framed florets. So you're going to see a post this week come up about this. And this is the stamp set that is coming available in the January book. We can pre-order it now. It has incredibly beautiful paper and embellishments to go with it. The paper and the embellishments are actually only as supplies last. I'm just going to move my camera up so you guys can see more. Are only as supplies last. And so if you're interested in the paper, you need to actually jump on that because it will sell out very quickly. I just purchased some today because I didn't want to miss out. But I do have a post coming that if you purchase the stamp set and the dies before the end of November, you will qualify for a free class with me in January for the stamp set and dies. So brand new class in January when you purchase the stamp set and the dies. And there may even be a free giveaway for anybody who purchases it. I'm going to be putting your name in a draw for an item. Okay, so I'm just looking to see because my phone is beeping. I want to make sure that I'm not missing anything important. All right, so I'm going to try to put this down. So I did this in soft suede, and I'm going to use my dimensionals because we all know I love my dimensionals. I have got to get my Take Your Pick tool out of my toolkit. I put it in there when I went to the Dorchester training event, and it just dawned on me that's where it is. Okay, so I'm going to put this here, right? Look how pretty this is. So now if I go ahead and I bring in, I could use those. I have some gold ones. See if I can find them. These ones here is what I was thinking, but these might be kind of big. Let's see if there's anything else in here that I could be. Yeah, that might be best. Those are not even Stampin' Up! Ones. Okay, let's try these gold, brush gold ones here. So I'm going to pick that up. Place one there. Place one there. Place one there. Okay, so there's my very first card done. Just want to make sure I'm not kicked off. Okay, so first card done. So I'm going to actually bring in my Stampin' Scrub. It's been a long time since I've used my Stampin' Scrub because I have had no water here to clean it. All right, so now I did mention the second piece of your white or your very vanilla. I'm going to put my lid on my poker here. So this is going to be on the inside of my card. So really for the inside of my card, what I'm going to actually do is I'm going to use this here. And I am going to stamp this on the inside of my card. I'm going to stamp that right about there. Okay, so this is going to be the inside of my card. I need to get better at doing the inside of my cards. So this is a way, because we all have scraps, but this is also, I pulled these out of my Love It Chop It packages because I tell you during Love It Chop It to not throw anything out, right? So you can see how pretty that is, and then when you open it up, we have our flower. Okay, so that's card number one. Card number two, I'm actually using paper that I kind of forgot I had actually, and I've lost a piece of my DSP right here. Okay, here we go. Not to panic yet. Okay, and so I'm just folding that in half and using my bone folder to make that crease nice and firm. Okay, so here's this one. I'm using white, so one will be my inside, one will be my outside, and I am using this paper here, which is actually, I'm trying to think of the name of it right now and it's escaped me. It's so beautiful, but I'm just going to use the front and the back. I'm just going to rotate them through. Okay, so I will have to get you the names of this paper. So I'm going to do one here. I'm going to do this one there. I'm going to do this one here. And then I'm going to use the seashells. Oh my gosh, I cannot think of the name of this paper. Isn't that terrible? So you'll see how I start it looks awful, right? Like it really does not look anything too beautiful. Okay, but not all that pretty. But that's okay because we're going to make it a thing of beauty. So I kind of like this how it is. I like where the spacing's at for this one-ish, right? So if you're just joining, jump on and say hello. If you're watching this on a replay, I'm always interested to see who's replaying me. So just hashtag replay would be awesome. And then that way I know. And if you are new to my channel, welcome. And please share where you're from. I'm always curious to know where people are watching from. And that's the great thing about YouTube is that people from all over the place can be watching. Doesn't just have to be local customers. Oops, my paper just moved on me. So I am using my silicone mat because it just helps with the glue sticking. Like the glue won't stick to it. So if you don't have yourself a silicone mat, it's definitely something you should always have in your toolkit and always carry with you. They're fantastic. Fantastic. Okay. And then this one, this piece might actually be a smidge smaller, but that's okay. Come on. I just need to get my glue out. There we go. All right. So yeah, so I have Maya prepping some of my fundraising kits and my sock for me. And now he's embossing. So we don't make a big deal. This is the first time in 16 years I've had him here. So, all right, here we go. So we have this, looks awful, right? So now we're gonna flip it over. We're gonna line this up. Should be at 4 inches here. I might have just cut a little bit of the white off there, but that's okay. And then I'm going to turn this. This should be at 5 1/4. And then this one's going to be at 4 inches. Oh, I guess that didn't get right over to the 4 inches. Okay. I don't know what the heck's going on there. Okay, there we go. All right, so then I may have to take my scissors here and just fix this because it's looking a little ratty. There we go. That's better. All right. So I'm still there. It has not kicked me out. Hi, Linda. So I understand that it's being a little bit choppy. So you may have to do this on a replay, Linda, so just bear with me. Okay, so this one's got some golds and some peach parfait in it, which I do have peach parfait ribbon, but I am going to try to incorporate in here. So where's my element for this one? This one's going to be my element for this one. Oops, not the silver. I'm trying to decide what I want to do with this here. What do I want to do? You know what? I think because this one is so crazy, I think I might actually use a glue dot if I can on this one. So I'm going to put my pin back in my ribbon just so that I don't lose my ribbon and I don't lose my pin. Then I'm going to take my glue dot and I'm going to put that there. I'm going to lift this up. There we go. Get that holding there. So we have had a very, very busy day today. To the point that I'm exhausted beyond words today, actually. So I may not be as perky as normal. Why? I think I'll be going home to have a nap. Actually, go to sleep. I'm back to work